días a todos nuestros oyentes. Continuamos en nuestro segundo segmento de nuestro programa Conexión Latina. El día de hoy tenemos a Frank the Bank en nuestro estudio. Vamos a continuar hablando de nuevos productos, el bucket que Frank dice. What is the way that you call it, Frank?
What's that?
The bucket?
The bucket? Oh, the magic bucket.
The magic bucket, I love it.
Magic bucket.
So, el magic bucket trae soluciones a las personas, right? The magic bucket brings so many solutions to the people.
Yeah, the magic bucket, I call it that because so many banks will limit the credit score at 620, right? But the FHA rule for only 3.5% down is 580. And Javier, I think people with a 580 to 620 credit score, I think they have good credit.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's like a B in school. You make one bad payment one time, you might be a 580 or 600.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't be penalized for that.
Nope.
Right? But the even more magical bucket is that 600 because that's where it's 0% down.
Yep.
No money down.
No money down. Now, let's talk about all these other people. There are, unfortunately, they say like, oh man, I cannot buy a house because my taxes are like $10,000. But my bank statement says that I'm $25,000 every month. I make money and I want to buy a house. What do we do? What do we do with these people?
I tell you, my favorite, everybody says, what is the next best loan if you can't do government loan?
What do you think?
I think bank statements.
I think P&Ls.
You think, okay, let's talk about this.
You know why?
Tell me, I want to know.
Yeah, and that's debatable, obviously.
Yeah.
Vamos a hablar de los préstamos alternativos, de las soluciones que traemos a nuestra mesa para las personas que pronto quieren comprar una propiedad, son self-employed, hacen mucho dinero, pero reportan 10, 15, 20 mil dólares, pero mensualmente tienen más de 20 mil dólares en el banco. So, Frank y yo estamos hablando de la opinión de él. Dice que estratos bancarios es la opción que le gusta más. Yo le digo que sí, I'm agree with you, man. It's an amazing.
Right.
Pero yo creo que la carta de profit and loss es un poco más sencilla. And I'd say why? Because when it comes to bank statements, sometimes they cannot provide information that the lenders ask about all these
like the
weird
deposits. Yes, I agree with you.
And can be a little bit you know what I mean?
So I guess the bank statement loan, and I'm glad we're saying this because, you've been doing this a long time, and I think you might probably do more of that type of loan even than I do. So the profit and loss loan compared to the bank statement. Bank statements, you have to give 12 months of bank statements.
12 to 24.
Yeah, and then the underwriter is going to look at everything, all the deposits, and what you're saying is then they ask questions.
Yes.
Right? Compared to the profit and loss loan, there is no bank statements. Or what do you have to give? Maybe 2 months sometimes? Or
well, we have a lender
that does none.
It does none.
Right.
And guess what? They do only year to date.
Oh my gosh. So what do we provide? Just a profit and loss?
Just a profit and loss and a letter from CPA, and they're good to go. And the rate is as good as a bank statement.
Okay, so here's one big question.
What is it?
What's the minimum down payment on the profit and loss?
On those, well, depending on the score, they have different ones, but I think they go as low as like 15%, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. I think it's 15. So here's the only difference then. Bank statement with good credit will allow 10% down.
10%, yeah.
So P&L. So I still would agree with Javier. If you have 15% down, the profit and loss loan is better. The rate is probably the same, right? Or similar. You're doing less documentation. You have to be self-employed on both programs, right?
You have to be. But remember, for those people that just got their business incorporated, that doesn't mean they cannot because they've been self-employed. We can say that it's being on a P&L.
Sole proprietor. Man, we said it at the same time. Sole proprietor.
Absolutely.
I think they also count 1099 as self-employed, right?
Absolutely. And with that 1099, we also have another program.
1099 only.
Absolutely, which I love it too.
Let's talk about that for a second because for the realtors who are watching the show right now, this is very important. The P&L loan, the 1099 only loan. How many of you, matter of fact, let me do something. I'm going to do a screen record of this right now because I think this is super exciting.
It's getting recorded anyway, so I want to share.
So realtors, right now, listen up. If you have a client that you've put in your car and you've driven them around and they say, hey, I make $500,000, show me everything, take me to Bayshore, I can qualify for anything, my business is making a bunch of money. And then they go to their lender and they apply and you find out they were a 1099 person and they wrote everything off, or a self-employed person and they wrote everything off. How many of you has that happened to?
Many.
A lot. Any realtor who's been in the business more than a year has met that client that says they make $500,000 and they really only claim $100,000. But we have a program. It is the 1099 only program. No taxes, no write-offs. We don't care. Or we do the P&L, like Javier said, or we do bank statements.
Mm-hmm.
So just because the other lender said no doesn't mean Frank the Bank can't help you. Contact frankthebank.com.
I love it.
I made a commercial out of that.
You made a commercial out of it. Or contact Javy.
Or contact Javy.
With findeasymortgages.com. Findeasymortgages.com.
That's a good website, man. I got to tell you again, because I've been on that GoDaddy looking for websites.
Me too. And I was just over the weekend with my wife, my beautiful wife. I love her. Shout out to my wife, Andrea, if she's watching me.
Oh.
And she gave me the idea. And I was like, baby, what do I do? What is it? I was thinking and brainstorming, me and my assistant. I was like, what do I do? She gave me all these lists of these possible websites that she find out in ChatGPT. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel it. And she's like, well, I was like, you want to do easy, right? She's like, yeah, well, find easy mortgages. I'm like, oh, find easy lending.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's perfect.
Did you pay a lot for that?
No.
You're kidding me.
No.
You are kidding.
$60 for 3 years.
Come on. And it's a .com.
.com. I was freaking surprised. I jumped on it and I bought it right in the moment.
So, yeah, I would have too. I would have bought it before you. But so, Frank the Bank, I tried to buy that. Somebody has it. And so I've got to go through this bidding process.
Nah.
I've never done that. Have you done that?
No, never.
It's something where you they send...
They're trying to, send you to try to buy your website.
Yeah, they try to negotiate. So I don't know. I'm Frank the Bank. I think I should probably have frankthebank.com, not like .net. Or
so you don't have frankthebank.com?
No. Contact frankthebank.com.
Oh.
Because somebody has it.
Oh, man.
But I think I'm going to go for it. I think it's probably worth it.
Make a bid. You never know.
I'm going to make a bid.
Do you try to look online if it's active?
No, it's not active. Nobody's using it.
So probably they just want money.
Imagine those guys when the internet first took off and they had the thought to go and buy
all these websites. There's people that live off of that.
Of course.
They buy the websites.
Yeah. Javier.com.
Yeah.
Think about it. Somebody just went in there and bought every name. .com.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
There's ones that cost hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Bueno, para una vez, vamos a volver. Entonces, para las personas, si usted es trabajador independiente, tiene un 1099, manejas tu troca, estás por todo el país, tienes buenos ingresos, o tienes un subcontrato y tienes sus 1099, si eres uno de esos realtors y tienes sus clientes que los han negado, de pronto por bank statement, tenemos el programa de 1099 que le permitirá solamente con el 1099 contar el ingreso, ¿ok? Tengo bancos donde le toman el 10% de depreciación y tengo otros donde ni siquiera tiene el 10% de depreciación, que es excelente, ¿ok? Donde ustedes van a poder calificar a esas personas, vengan a nosotros y le daremos toda la información para que ustedes puedan obtener ese préstamo. Este 2023 todavía tenemos tiempo para cerrarlo o para el 2024 prepararlos. Si las personas piensan que no fueron preparadas, lo haremos. You know what, Frank? Let's talk about this one. Actually, I have a couple right now that I lowered my chair. That actually we're closing, I think, either by Friday or next week.
Okay.
We went on a second inspection. And this couple were rejected twice by Rocket Mortgage, obviously.
Of course, Rocket Mortgage.
And by other people, but by other lenders, I don't recall. But beautiful couple. She's from Venezuela, and this guy's from Tampa, all this area, and they were like, Javi, I want to buy a house. We've been working so hard. Their business. I look at everything. We got our approval within 48 hours. Now they're on contract. They're about to buy their beautiful house. Exactly what they want. They're buying a manufactured home with a nice piece of land.
Right.
They're super happy. They cannot imagine. And this is happening in less than 30 days.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm trying to close in, I think. Oh, actually, unfortunately, this one, no. Because of the, we could have been actually closing before 30 days, but the fact that the procedures, we actually did a little bit extra on this case, just because of the fact that they were waiting some taxes, but we made it happen. They say, no, we can't. You're not going to be able to. They're closing. They're becoming homeowners.
So that happens so often. And I think the story that we have to tell people is that just because you have been denied or rejected from another lender or bank does not mean that you're not qualified.
Exactamente.
It just means that that bank does not allow that type of loan. And here's a perfect example, okay? We had somebody yesterday call us, and they had a 550 credit score. And they have applied to Rocket Mortgage, to Guaranteed Rate, to Van Dyke, to Bank of America. I saw the inquiries on their credit.
Oh, my God.
So many people, right? They told their realtor they did not want to talk to Lincoln Lending because they had been denied everywhere else. So they said it's not possible. But there's something called an overlay, okay? These other lenders can make the loan harder to get, but they can't make it easier. So just because the bank says no, that just means the bank doesn't want that loan. Do not get discouraged. You know Javier. You know frankthebank.com. I'm sorry, contact frankthebank.com. But you know, I don't own Frank the Bank. So by the way, if you own it, call me. But no, so you have to be willing to try again. Don't give up.
Absolutely.
Call us. Here's one more thing. Your house is the most expensive purchase of your life, right?
Absolutely.
Why are you not getting more than one estimate?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I had a friend of mine, actually used to be my co-host on the radio show, Ashley Pageant. Okay, she told me I could use her name. Her and her husband met me 2 weeks into their four-week contract. And we had lunch, and they happened to just show me the estimate that from the other lender. I said, oh my God, guys, I can save you a point in the interest rate and about $2,000 in costs. And they said, oh my God, that's amazing, but we don't want to close on time. We still closed on time. You hear what Javier is saying. We approve in 1 day. We can close in 2 to 3 weeks. We closed them before the other lender was even ready to close. And we took the loan over 2 weeks later.
Absolutely.
So what am I telling you to do? You give Javier your estimate.
Absolutely.
Javier, this is what I have. This is what my credit score is. He will look at it and say, this is what I can do.
Absolutely.
And then they do the application.
And you know what, Frank? We also can transfer those appraisals.
Yes.
And close in 8 days.
Exactly.
And I've done it before.
Now, the reason we say 8 days
It's because of trade.
it's just the fastest we can legally close your loan, right? If a lender says they do it faster, we can clear it faster.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some of your loans clear in 3 to 4 days, but you got to wait 3 more days to close.
Absolutely.
But what he says is you transfer the appraisal, which means you're not spending more money on an appraisal.
Nope.
We'll use the appraisal.
Es exacto.
Right.
So, para las personas que nos están escuchando, voy a traducir todo esto. Prácticamente, si estás buscando propiedad, nosotros tenemos tantas soluciones. Tengo una pareja que recientemente estamos cerrando. Los había negado 2 veces de diferentes bancos, los cuales estaban un poco decepcionados, hablaron conmigo y en menos de 24 horas estábamos ya preaprobados. Están en ese momento en contrato y están prácticamente listos para cerrar en esto. Esto pasa muy a menudo. Siempre deberían buscar una opción si no se sienten cómodos. ¿Cómo? Nos dan un estimado del préstamo, me lo envían, nos dicen cuánto es el crédito. We can even do a soft pull, man.
Yes, soft pull. What does that mean?
That means that it's not going to hurt your credit
Right.
at all, but
No
we see
inquiry.
your score. No
Right.
le van a dar inquiry, hacemos soft pull, vemos el crédito y de esa forma podemos tener básicamente ese estimado approved to you, even 100% guarantee,
Exactly.
without hurting their credit.
Right. So nobody even knows your credit was ran. That is a soft credit pull.
Exacto. And this one has all 3
That's right. All 3 bureaus.
bureaus, which
So
sometimes is pretty hard to get.
It is. A lot of lenders are going to tell you, oh, we do a soft pull, but they pull 1 credit score.
1.
And we use 3 to qualify you.
Yep.
All right. By the way, people, let's explain this to them. We don't use the average of your credit score.
No, we do the FICO.
Right. So you have your 1 up top, you have your low down on the bottom. We have to use the middle. All right. You drop the high, you drop the low, we use your middle. Right. So if another lender is only running 1 credit score, if they're only running 1 credit score, I dropped my phone. I tried to have it set up for the camera. Then they're not giving you an accurate pre-approval because they don't know. What if your other score is low?
Absolutely.
Right?
So, una vez más, nosotros nos damos ese estimado con su crédito, le podemos hacer un soft pull, no le va a salir en el crédito y aparte de ello, lo que vamos a hacer es darles esa aprobación diciéndoles que tanto lo podemos ayudar a ahorrar para que puedan comprar su propiedad. El soft pull es de los 3 bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax y Experian.
Yep.
Entonces, usamos el FICO, que no es el de arriba ni el de abajo, sino el de la mitad. El que esté. A veces puede ser Experian, se puede estar en TransUnion. El que esté en la mitad básicamente es considerado el FICO, que vamos a utilizarlo para ayudarles a hacer esto. And you know what, Frank? Actually, I have. Let's talk about this other one. I had someone. They contact me, and they were approved with USAA.
Okay.
And he came to me and he's like, "Hey, can you help me out?" Yada yada yada. I'm like, you know what? I look and I review it, and I'm super proud of telling this. And I'm like, you know what, dude? You have an amazing deal. I want you to have your loan, and they're giving you a good deal based on what I'm looking at.
Okay.
But if it doesn't end up being, tell them to ask you for because she was telling me, look, they're giving me 100%. And I was like, what is your rate? She's like, well, I don't know. I think it's this one. I was like, well, send me the loan estimate.
Right.
But if it's USA, I'm pretty sure they're taking care of well. It's a credit union, right?
You hope.
You hope that they're giving you. Well, check this out, Frank. They gave me he started looking at all these fees.
Right.
Because the program was coming out with so much money, was bulk into it. And I look at it and I was like, well, let me do an estimate of what I could do for you.
Right.
And I gave him the estimate. And I put him with the 1% down payment program.
Oh, yes.
And then I show it to him. And he's like, he was saving like $8,000.
In fees.
And the rate was, I think, a little bit better.
Believe
it or not.
$8,000 and a lower rate.
Even though there are other, like credit unions,
Yeah.
Sometimes we probably can have a better product.
So I hate talking bad about certain companies, but I'm going to do it a little bit. USAA, Navy Federal, these are the banks that a lot of veterans go to.
They go to, yes.
Right? Because they do a big marketing campaign for veterans. They spend a lot of money. My experience, Javier, is that USAA and Navy Federal actually charge more than you and I do on veteran loans.
That's crazy.
I think they're pretty good for insurance. Like USAA, I think it's good for your insurance if you're a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
I see good rates. I don't see them on the mortgages. I'm not surprised that you beat it by $8,000.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was thinking,
You think they give them a better deal.
Absolutely. So he came back. So he's like, you know what, Javi? Thank you for your opinion. First of all, he gave me. And he's like, well, you told me that I'm pretty sure that you cannot help me out, but you gave me the dose. So he came back and he was like, dude, you know what? You were super straight honest. And like he wrote all this beautiful review.
Isn't that the best?
It's beautiful. I love it. And that's posted in findeasymortgages.com.
I love it. findeasymortgages.com. Hey, by the way, you don't even know this yet, but I'm gonna make an announcement on your show.
Okay.
Lincoln Lending Group is going to make a commitment next year to help 600 families find the right mortgage. Our goal is 600 Tampa Bay families, and we are going to volunteer together as a company for Habitat for Humanity. And we're not just going to finance 600 homes, but when we meet half of our goal, we're going to go out and we're going to build a house for a family with Habitat for Humanity.
That's nice.
When we reach our full goal, we're going to do it again.
Nice. So 2 houses.
2 houses we're going to help. We're going to help finance and build 2 houses with Habitat for Humanity.
You know what? I was thinking about that.
Isn't that awesome?
I love it. It was one of the things that I probably put it somewhere to talk to you about in a future goal is do something like that.
Yeah.
Is actually, do, because we do well. So, making sure that we give something back there.
Exactly. So we're obviously going to help monetarily. But Habitat for Humanity, what they need more than anything are volunteers to go out and work on these homes, right? We go work with the contractors and with the painters and with the people because all that costs so much money.
Absolutely.
So if we go and give our time and time is money.
Absolutely.
If you and I are sitting at a desk, we're making hundreds of dollars an hour.
Absolutely.
I want to help put some of that time out to help the community. And I want to meet these goals. And I know together we can do it.
Absolutely. Count on that.
Right? So it's not just close 600 loans. It's, when I say help families, we want to give 600 better deals to people. Just like you did for the USAA client, that counts as one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time that we can give somebody a better deal, that is helping a family.
Absolutely.
Save thousands.
So, Lincoln Lending está orgullosamente anunciando que el año entrante va a estar ayudando aproximadamente el goal son 600 familias. 600 familias ayudándolas con el programa de Habitat, que ayuda a comprar una propiedad a un mucho mejor costo, dando mejores préstamos y ayudando con el tiempo, ayudarlos a construir, ¿verdad? Entonces, cuando llegue a 300, So when you get 3,300,
we're going to go out and volunteer and help build the first house.
Y vamos a ir directamente, cuando lleguemos a 300, vamos a ir voluntariamente a ayudar a construir esa casa. Y cuando lleguemos a 600, otra vez vamos a ir a ayudar a construir esa casa. Entonces serían 2 casas que vamos a ayudar a construir con el tiempo, con el esfuerzo, para que una persona pueda tener una propiedad a un mucho mejor costo. You know what is even better?
Tell me.
The rates are going to be even better.
That's exactly right. So, talking about rates real quick, the rates will be better. Everybody asks me. They always ask me, what is the deal? I'm going to record this too because this is a good one for us. What is the deal, everybody asks, with the interest rates? And should I buy now or should I wait? The big question is, there's going to be a recession. Should I buy or should I wait? My opinion, marry the house, date the rate. And why do I say this? We already see the rates going down. We've already heard the government say inflation is going away, whether it's real or not. We already see the Fed getting ready to lower rates. So we know they're going to get better. What's going to happen when all of the people who have been waiting to buy because of the interest rates decide to go buy at the same time? They're going to try to buy the same houses, and they're going to fight for the same properties, which means the values are going to go up.
Absolutely. Same thing that happened.
Right.
Because there's going to be more competition.
More competition. That's why right now is the best time to buy that any buyer has.
That's what I tell everybody. And have so many people that are taking, advantage of actually buying.
Good, you should. Because if you wait, you're going to pay more for the house, and you cannot refinance paying more for the house.
And there's a lot of people refinancing, believe it or not.
There already are a lot of people refinancing.
I mean, most of my loans right now are refinanced.
They can do it right now, because if you're in the 8s,
they're in the 12.
Oh, private money.
Yeah, so I help all those people that have hard money loans, and they were able to buy their house. And if you want to get out of the hard money loan that is only interest, and it's usually for about 12 months, you contact me and I'll get you out of the loan. We have all these type of loans that currently I have many of my clients refinancing from these hard money loans.
So guys, if you're worried about your income verification, this loan that Javier will get you has no income verification.
No income.
No employment verification.
No employment.
So it's almost a private money loan, Javier.
Almost.
But you're getting a better rate. So instead of being at 12%, what are they getting? 8, 9?
Somewhere around there.
Something like that, in the 9 range?
Yeah, which is not bad.
Well, you think about it, do the math, you're saving 25% on your interest.
Absolutely. That's a lot.
9 to 12, 25%.
And this is principal and interest.
Principal and interest, because that means you're paying down your mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Where on the private money loan, you were just paying the interest.
Interest, absolutely.
Right?
And at the end of the day, you still have the same loan.
Yeah. It's a great, or can't you get them some cash too if they wanted?
Yeah, we can cash them out.
Maybe everybody's house is worth more money.
You know what? I actually working with a person that we're closing, and they got $40,000 appraisal in the difference to $40,000, and people are thinking the houses are lowering and the prices are coming down now. And I keep telling them it doesn't happen all the time. I see some appraisals lower, but I see some appraisals coming out $40,000-$50,000 higher than what they're purchasing.
I don't think things are really coming down, but there are some here and there. The sellers are motivated and they're lowering it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I don't. I don't think they're coming.
It's not. It depends. It's on the area.
Yeah,
right. Some of them are good. And I don't want to just also discourage the people that maybe, de las personas que nos están escuchando, que quieren refinanciar de hard money loans, los podemos hacer con todo tipo de estrategias sin ingresos, sin verificación de ingresos. Tenemos todo tipo de programas para que nos contactes. And you know what I want to mention as last one of the the bucket falls into foreign nationals.
Oh my gosh, foreign nationals.
So Frank, that we have a program for 25% down payment for foreign nationals, no income verification from the country or anything.
No employment. No income.
And the rates are pretty good.
Hey, you know what else they don't do? No credit.
No credit. That's even better.
So what do we verify? We verify that they have the money to close.
The close.
And they don't even need a bank account in the United States. They just move the money to the title company.
Yeah, they have 60 days. So 30 days in their country and then 30 days on a USA account.
Yeah, or to the title company.
Yeah.
That's another way to do it. And all we have to do is translate the statement from their native language to English.
And we can make it happen in a couple of minutes.
Yep.
Right, guys? Okay, so our show is finalizing. Nuestro show se está acabando. Tenemos el programa de Foreign Nationals. Pueden comprar la propiedad con 25%. Los intereses están súper buenos porque yo lo chequeé no hace mucho. Está alrededor de 8 o 9. Para las personas que quieren comprar internacionalmente, no hay verificación de ingresos, ni crédito, ni nada. Para más información, contáctenme para poder ayudarles con ello. Una vez más, nuestro número es el 1-888-948-1113. Frank, thank you for coming here. Please give me your information again.
Thank you, Javier. I've had a great time. If you guys would like to check anything out, you can text me 813-765-1239 or go to contactfrankthebank.com.
Beautiful. And once again, this is Javier, your host with Conexión Latina. Muchísimas gracias. Este fue un programa totalmente diferente, bilingüe, which I think we're going to have those more often.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Muchísimas gracias. Que tengan muy bonito fin de semana y Dios los bendiga. Hasta luego.